Hello everyone, my name is Saber, and today we're going to talk about Stalker. Right now there's a lot of hype around Stalker with the release of Stalker 2 coming up and a fan film about the game. The film in question is being made by that guy that makes those SCP short films, and the script was written by my favorite YouTuber Wendigo, so make sure you keep an eye out for that when it comes out in spring. This video is going to serve as a sort of introduction to the world of Stalker. I'm not going to talk about the games or the other movie or the book, Roadside Picnic. We're just going to be talking about what is Stalker, why do people love this game franchise so much, why do people attach themselves to this property. So without further ado, let's get into it. First we're going to talk about the setting, then we're going to talk about the factions, then the mutants, and that's pretty much going to be all that really matters.
But first, it's time for a quick history lesson.
Look at this place. 50,000 people used to live in the city. Now it's a ghost town. Never seen anything like it.
One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant near the city of Kiev was damaged, and there is speculation in Moscow that people were injured and may have died.
In real life, in 1986, a devastating nuclear event happened in Chernobyl, leaving the people dead and the local fauna with degenerative mutations. If you want to learn more about the real Chernobyl, then I highly recommend this video by Clothmap that covers a lot of what the current day Chernobyl looks like. In the world of Stalker, we continue to the year 2011 when another event called the second emission occurs. During the time window between 2011 and 1986, there were rumors about anomalies and mutants, but the second event is pretty much what sealed the deal for everyone. And because this is an introductory video, instead of dumping a bunch of lore shit that nobody knows, I'm gonna put this into Fortnite terms. There's some real fucky shit going on in Ukraine, and there's factions of people that like the fucky shit and people that don't like the fucky shit. Alright, now that we got the saying out of the way, let's talk about the factions. Loners.
What they do, i.e. what you will do, is perform tasks to live off the zone and collect coin and just live there. The relationships between you and the other factions really depends on what game you're playing. And yeah, that's about it for them.
Bandits.
Bandits are pretty much the raiders slash marauders slash mobsters of the zone. They make a living by harassing other factions and pretty much taking whatever they can. You can often recognize them by their wardrobe, which is usually a leather jacket of some kind, a trench coat with some kind of face mask, like just either a bandana or balaclava, and like one of those Redditor hats that makes them think they're intelligent.
Military.
Yeah, this is straight up just the Ukrainian military. Their job is to keep the place quarantined and keep looters out from looting the place, which is the only reason why factions are in the zone and looting the place is because they bribe the military. But yeah, other than that, it's just straight up just the Ukrainian military.
Clear Sky.
Clear Sky is a faction of researchers who are researching something called the Z consciousness, which is like an actual conspiracy theory in real life. Their goal is to find a way to contain the zone because it's technically their fuck up. Hey, can you tell I'm doing this on a different day? Clear Sky is the most secretive faction of the zone, so not much is known about them other than the fact that most of them were made up of people who were there during the first and second disaster. This faction would become disbanded later on, but remnants of them still remain in the zone.
Freedom.
As their name might suggest, Freedom sees the zone as a place of great freedom and scientific breakthroughs and a lot of hippie nonsense. I'm not joking when I say that. They actually are hippies. As far as anyone knows, their main objective is to preserve the zone and to try and benefit from it.
Duty.
The Based Duty faction is a faction primarily made up of ex-military and other stalkers. Best way I can explain their primary objective is that one Peter Griffin meme that says, "Oh sweet, man-made horrors beyond my comprehension." That's pretty much their point of view. They see the zone itself and the things in it as a birthing place for nothing but man-made horrors beyond our comprehension, and that the zone itself should either be destroyed or contained. Because these stalkers are mostly made up of ex-military men, you can see them living the way you would expect soldiers would. I mean, hell, you can even see them patrol the same way.
Парень, оружие спрячь. Опусти оружие.
Mercenaries.
That's what I'm supposed to be dressed up as because I'm trying to get in character for the video. The mercenaries are PMCs that operate within the zone because the zone itself is just easy income. The mercs themselves aren't exactly a faction, so because of their neutral relations, they can do odd jobs for pretty much any faction that's not in their way. They can also be seen collecting anomalies and trading weapons and doing pretty much anything that can make money.
Monolith.
I'm not even joking when I say this. Monolith is a straight up cult. These are all regular stalkers that have been brainwashed by some supernatural entity, and now they attack everyone and everything in the zone. Everyone seems to speculate that this god they worship is actually some kind of wish granter. If you've ever played the games or seen a 1980s movie, then you would know that the wishes are actually just a monkey's paw that gives you an ironic, fucked up version of what you wanted. But that's where Monolith differs. Apparently someone wanted to have advanced technology, and they actually did end up getting exosuits and railguns, at the cost of their free will, obviously.
Ecologists.
The ecologists are scientists that were sent in by the Ukrainian government to collect artifacts, study anomalies, and collect scientific data. They don't exactly have relations with other stalkers. They do give out odd jobs, but that's really the extent of it.
Anomalies and artifacts.
If I haven't told you about artifacts and anomalies yet, pretend this piece of wood is an artifact. Artifacts are strange objects that have certain properties that you can collect and sell or put on your belt to use them. So based off the description I gave you, artifacts are objects that you can hold in your hand like I'm doing right now. Anomalies are different. Anomalies are more like natural events that kind of just happen. Think of it like a thunderstorm that hates you, but it also doesn't because it's not a thing. We're alive, although it may seem like it is. Hey, you like the new camera angle? If I stay in the same place, you're just gonna click away, so I have to keep your ADHD brain attached. Alright, the first mutant is the Flesh, which is actually just a pig. Like, straight up, you can still eat and everything. The only real difference being that they look like that.
Boar.
Boar in real life are already pretty dangerous, so boar in this game are even more dangerous than they are in real life. The reason why it takes so many shots to kill the boar in the game is because in real life they have fucking battle armor. I'm not even joking about that. Kind of makes you think about that one Joe Biden speech where he says that deer aren't wearing Kevlar.
And I said, what do you think, the deer you're hunting are wear Kevlar vests? What the hell you need 20 bullets for?
I'm not hunting deer, I'm hunting boar. Boar have fucking battle armor. Sorry, that's a rant for a different video that may or may not, definitely won't ever happen, ever.
Blind dogs.
Remember that one dog picture that was floating around? Well, that's a real breed, and that breed is what the blind dogs were based off of. It's actually just Walter, but he's blind now.
Pseudo-dog.
Pseudo-dogs are actually wolves that have mutated to have more dog-like features. Like regular wolves, they still hunt in packs, they're still dangerous. You'll see like one or two of them straight from the pack to get your attention and make you shoot at them, while the entire rest of the pack will attack you from behind or from the side or wherever you're not looking. Like straight up, these are just real wolves.
Side dog.
A side dog is almost exactly the same as a pseudo dog. The only difference being they are solitary, they have white fur, and they make you hallucinate. But other than that, like physically, they're still the same animal.
Chimera.
Chimeras are a fucking sin. An unholy combination of a dog and what people think might be a cat, but like mixed together to create a very rare, but very dangerous creature. Like all the other mutants, you can still kill it and you can still sell its parts for some good rubles. The only other animal mutants in the game are rodents and crows, which Apart from having exposed flesh, they're still roughly the same, so I'm not really gonna mention them. We're just gonna move on to the humanoid mutants.
Bloodsucker.
Bloodsuckers are a humanoid mutant that feed on, you guessed it, blood. They stand roughly 6 to 7 feet tall with a hunched posture. They can be found in the deeper areas of the zone. Whether it be forests, caves, bunkers, old buildings, you name it. They can turn invisible, but you can see their yellow eyes, kinda like Predator. Also like the Predator, it's one ugly motherfucker that has tentacles coming out of where its mouth should be. In total, there are 3 variants of the Bloodsucker. The common one you can find in pretty much any dark area. The second type lives exclusively underground. And the third one lives in marshlands and swampy areas.
Poltergeist.
The Poltergeist is also a humanoid mutant. They appear as a torso with a head, arms, and no legs. Their main form of attack is using their psychic abilities to fuck with the player. Like the rest of the mutants on this list, they can be killed pretty easily with a shotgun.
Pseudogiant.
Pseudogiants are heavily mutated people that can be found in old laboratories. No one really knows what kind of experiments caused them to be like that, but do know that the pseudogiants are giant, hence the name. They aren't killed that easily, but it can be done. Although be aware that you might not be fast enough to avoid being completely flattened.
Burr.
Burrs are stocky midget-like monsters that live in the underground parts of the zone. They avoid light at pretty much any cost and can be mistaken for other bandits. They avoid light at every cost and can be mistaken for bandits at first due to their long black trench coats. Like a few of the mutants we've talked about so far, their main form of attack is through psychic powers. But like the other mutants, their powers aren't really that strong and you can end them with a shotgun pretty easily. It's thought that the Burrs were originally criminals that were experimented on before the second event in the zone, and like the pseudogiant, probably lived inside of an abandoned laboratory where it may or may not have been created. Because they avoid light, you're not gonna see them that often, but if you hear a baby crying, then that's pretty much a sign that one is nearby.
Zombies.
Do I need to explain this? I mean, it's in the name. The only difference between the zombified stalker and regular zombies is that they can shoot and ask you to kill them while they shoot at you. That's really it.
Snorks.
The Snork is probably my favorite mutant in the game just because of how fucking cool it looks. Besides the pseudo-dogs and the blind dogs, Snorks are the only other pack hunting mutant. Although I say that very loosely because they kinda just hibernate in the same dingy, common Detroit household. It's thought that these were once regular soldiers that were in the zone before the second event happened and turned them into what they are now. Also, apparently this is what it looks like. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. It's gonna show up on screen somewhere.
Controller.
Like the Burr and the pseudogiant, it's thought that the controllers live in abandoned laboratories where they may or may not have been creative. Very likely that they were man-made, but I guess we'll find out when STALKER 2 comes out. As they're... Dude, my hair looks like shit. Hey look, it's post-production me. But yeah, what I was going to say is that the controllers are a mutant that can use their mind powers to make you low-tier god yourself. That's their main form of attack. They are pretty hard to kill because they'll make you hallucinate other versions of itself that aren't real. And they have a lot of health, but that's about it for them. Again, the main reason why I'm making this video is because Evan Royalty and Wendigoon are making a STALKER fan film that's supposed to come out in the spring or somewhere around that time window. And also STALKER 2 is supposed to come out this year. It's been delayed like 5 times already, so I highly doubt that it's going to come out this year, but if it does, then hopefully this video will be important for that. The only reason why I didn't talk about the games at all is because there's already a ton of videos talking about that, so why repeat what other people have said when you can just go watch those videos. This was really more of an introduction to that world and the lore of it and all the stuff that people already know about it, but now I'm making it for new people that want to get into STALKER. As always, I'm going to link all the sources I use down below in the description. You can open it and click on those if you are interested in that extra shit. But yeah, that about wraps it up. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike if you dislike it. Follow me on Instagram. My Twitter account's been banned, so that's pretty much the only place where I can shit post for now. Yeah, that's it. Bye.